All right, here we are for Game 9 between TSL and Prime. TSL.Shine has been chosen to defeat this other guy, ByuN.Prime, is the blue Terran up in the top left of Ohana. Will Shine be able to do it? He is among the ranks of some of the best Zerg players out there. Symbol, obviously, Hyun, both played earlier today. Ragnarok actually had a good showing as well. So, I mean, he's got a lot to live up to here against ByuN.Prime.
And TVZ not usually played out on Ohana, but it was the last map in the map pool, so they had to play here. This is a map that Polt has played in TVZ a few times, so maybe Shine will have a pretty good idea of how to deflect Terran attacks here playing against Polt so much. It's good for ultra-aggressive Terran styles. There's a lot of open passages through the middle of the map, so you have to have really stout tank lines, which is why it's nice to have good multitasking, just be able to drop your opponent everywhere. Though we've seen ByuN do weird things. Maybe we'll even get a nuke out of him. Who knows?
That's true. ByuN does like his ghosts quite a bit. Obviously, he changed his name to Ghost King Prime, sort of mockingly, not really super seriously, but ByuN is kind of a unique enough name that I think he should just stick with it forever. But
that's right. It's poo.
It's basically feces.
Yes. His name previously when he was with the Next clan was Nexcrement. Yep. So yeah. And he's a good guy.
I remember when he first showed up in Liquibet, it was Zenex Feces or something. I was like, what? I was like, really? That doesn't make any sense. And then his name was ByuN. But you know what? A lot of the Korean pro gamer names don't really make a whole lot of sense anyway.
That's true.
Because a lot of them are girl names that just confuse me. And then there's like...
Oh, it's Alicia playing, and Alicia's a guy.
Alicia and Lucy. And I was just doing the rosters today for these two teams. There is a Lucy Prime that I had no idea existed until today.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right. The more you know.
Yep.
Well.
The better you feel.
It's interesting. Okay, the orbital command was waited on there for a little bit. Was wondering what ByuN was waiting for, but may just have his attention occupied elsewhere. Shine, on the other hand, is following this up with a pool and directly into an extractor as well, reminiscent of his teammate Hyun, of course. Hyun does love the... I mean, he went with basically the same strategy against Alive many games in a row until one time he got tired of it and just decided to all-in him. But... yeah, so I mean, we're probably going to see Zergling Baneling here in a bit. He could go quickly up to that Mutalist tech once again and just try and put on a ton of pressure in the mid-game.
Everything opening rather quietly, rather passively. Both players giving the other some room to do kind of what they want. Shine is going to eventually scoot up there with that Scouting Overlord and get a look at everything. But by then, we'll kind of have an idea of what's going on anyway. The Drone Scout, did the Drone Scout actually make its way all the way across?
Let me see. I think it's just Overlord's. No, okay,
no,
it did make its way
in there.
right.
But it was a little bit early. He didn't see the actual command center being dropped or anything like that.
Right.
No workers killed, obviously. The drone actually went all the way over there and came all the way back, just like the SCV is doing now for ByuN. But the first couple of Lings are out. They're probably just going to hang on to the Zelnaga Towers for a bit.
And he's returning with his prize as well, those hard-fought minerals.
Yep, a piece of the aggro crag is actually what that is.
Ah, all right. And he's going to use those to assist in his building of this bunker. Now, we've seen two different approaches from Terran players from Prime so far. Marine King decided to go for a lot quicker Cloaked Banshees after this opening. Maru decided to delay a little bit and put out a quicker third command center. We'll see what approach ByuN decides to take here in a bit.
Yeah. We've got the factory coming up. Obviously, he has options. We've seen a couple of times where you just add on more barracks after that and then go for a little bit more aggressive. Otherwise, you build the Banshee, take some time trying to kill some drones, and maybe even expand again. But basically, you're using that Banshee time to macro up. We'll see. Yeah, there is the starport actually dropping now. And Shine is not doing anything other than building more and more and more drones and getting Zergling speed finish up. So he hasn't actually shown us any further evidence either of his own build.
All right. Well, he still is mining gas, though, at a pretty good clip after getting Zergling speed. So normally by now we would have seen another base being thrown down, but no, it is a Roach Warren, but a little bit later than if it would just be some sort of a big Roachling all-in. So.
Yep, and the Scouting SCV is going to get taken out. I always think it's weird how blood just shoots out of the SCV, but then when it dies, it explodes. To just like cauterize and vaporize all the blood that is supposedly in there.
SCVs are actually immortal unless you blow up their suit.
Ah,
so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they are
little known fact.
They are the only biological mechanical unit in the game.
That's right.
Which is confusing, yes. But they are also light.
Yes. Light, biological, mechanical.
Yes. Unfortunately for them, they are weak to everything except Warhounds, which have been removed because of that. No.
Yeah, that's right. They've been removed permanently.
Yeah, forever.
Cloak
Look what
is
you did.
being researched, and as we can see, this was Shine's last vision. He saw the tech lab was working. He saw that there was something being produced out of the starport as well, so his evolution chambers dropped right down. He'll be putting up some support crawlers here in just a bit.
And Hellions have already begun their rampage through the bottom half of the map. Shine is going to, of course, ward those away with a Queen and a couple of Roaches actually hitting the field now, showing themselves off. Now a Spore Crawler also coming up at the top of the ramp. That third hatch is just about to finish up. Explode. And then Creep just magically appears underneath it. But
That's right. This is actually looking very close to what his teammate ByuN does. So we have double upgrades on the way. Now ByuN loves, it would be in about a minute or so in game from now to put up a Baneling Nest and Lair Tech and start powering forward towards Mutalisks. But otherwise, we've seen this before out of TSL Zergs.
That's true. Banshee could disrupt all of those plans, though. We'll see how good the Spore Crawler coverage actually is as the Banshee comes in and starts picking apart these Queens and drones. Spore Crawler going to pop up right underneath this Banshee, though. It could actually manage to get it killed off. The Queen does go down. Roaches are going to try and respond to that. Spore Crawler does not do enough damage to the Banshee, and the Hellions will be warded off, but that Queen pickup was very nice for ByuN. Obviously, he can send everything home and just repair back up and have another shot at getting some damage done. Another Banshee hits the field now as well, and might be able to loop around from the top into the main, perhaps, to try and find the soft spots in that mineral line.
So ByuN going after something that was a little more familiar to Marine King, putting up his third command center a bit later and then reinvesting back into his bio infrastructure, but this is looking pretty close to what Marine King did earlier on against Symbol.
That's true. And Symbol actually didn't Symbol win that game?
Yes, he did.
So,
yes, he did.
So Shine, maybe Symbol is tapping him on the shoulder like, hey, remember my game, just do that. But we'll see. We'll see how he actually ends up responding to this. Some drones are taking some heavy fire now. He did find a little bit of a soft spot, but the Queens do have detection here. Obviously, they can be killed off very quickly by two Banshees as well. So ByuN is not going to risk it. Instead, he's going to fly on out of there. 8 workers killed to his name. And ByuN actually has pretty good control of his side of the map. He might want to make a Viking and start clearing out any spare overlords that he can snag. But other than that, doing a very good job so far, dictating the pace of the game.
Not sure what's going on there. Okay, all right. He finally is able to make his way out of there, but spazzing out.
He's playing Dizzy Bat
there for a while. Yes, I can clear it. Now he's trying to make his way. Now he has to go build a structure without falling over.
That's right. And he's got to chug a beer. But this Overseer is going to actually get a glimpse at pretty much everything. The Banshee is going to ram him. Ramming speed. That's all he has. He doesn't have any air-to-air missiles, so he has to do ramming techniques. But Infestation Pit actually just about to finish. Baneling Nest just about to finish. Both of these production tabs are filled all the way up with tons of stuff, including 12 Zerglings for Shine. That's the only fighting unit in that whole mess of stuff. And ByuN, on the other hand, making tons of Marines and tanks, as well as a billion upgrades and 4 more production structures.
Passenger Lands is well on the way now. Very nice pickup with these Zerglings. That did about 600 minerals worth of damage there, just being able to kill 2 mules before they start producing anything. So a great pickup from Shine. It may seem like a small thing, but always nice to land those. Boost your self-confidence, if nothing else.
Banshee's coming back in again. Is he going to drop any scans? It doesn't look like it. Instead, he's looking for some easy targets. I was curious if he was going to maybe try and combat those creep tumors. This is actually a weird squad of Hellions just parked over there to the right. Destructible Rock's being taken down now between the natural and the third, just in case ByuN needs to get over there in a hurry. If obviously, if he's under attack at either one of those, he wants pretty quick access to be able to go defend, and Banelings have started being produced. Baneling speed is over halfway done now as well.
And so now Shine is actually just kind of rushing ahead towards Tier 3 tech. He's already got his Hive well on the way. Don't believe that he put up a Spire at all, so likely to be Ultralisks, but we'll see if he decides to switch it up on us here in a bit. He'll probably throw down a Spire anyway here in just a bit, just to make sure he has the tech switch available to him in the late game.
Yep, you do see that quite a lot. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Obviously, to not go with Spire at all is a little bit of a detriment in case they show something that you weren't expecting. And, you know, Corruptors, Mutas, and even Broodlords can be quite a nice thing to have in TVZ. But these Banshees are still just annoying the crap out of Shine, destroying all these drones. Spore Crawlers constantly having to shift around to figure out the best spots. ByuN is on the move now with a large force of Marines, but good Fungals actually trapping morphing all of these Marines, allowing the Banelings enough time to get in there. Lots of Marines actually getting taken out, and Shine is actually looking like he wants to continue with this attack.
Banelings didn't even need to be used, so they're actually all kept alive. Beacon Fungal on the ramp, didn't even need it, just crashes through and kills everything. Unfortunately, a couple of Banshees are tailing around behind. They will be able to pick off a couple of these Infestors. In fact, hitting them all.
The Infestors do go down, but now the Marines are trying to scuttle away, but that's what Marines do, not roaches.
Scuttle?
Marines are the scuttlers in this scenario.
It's actually Zoidberg inside of the Marine suit.
That's
just
right.
Lots of clones of him.
And yeah, because they're cheap, they're efficient infantry to use, the race that Zoidberg is.
Need a cheap, efficient Marine unit? Why not Zoidberg?
Exactly, so the Terran...
All right, I got it.
The Terran... infantry made entirely of Zoidbergs.
Good.
Scuttling around with their combat shields. But now people are going to picture that forever, every time they play Terran.
I hope so.
ByuN is actually doing a lot of damage still in the air. He's got a supply lead now after finishing off that big pack of Zerglings that we saw earlier. Shine does have a lot of minerals, but does not have a lot of gas after getting all these upgrades rolling and starting some Ultralisks. He's actually hurting for some gas units, and only 2 Infestors that I could see there on the field, 5 total. So he needs to get all those in one place. There they are. And all these Banelings morphing now to spend what little gas he does have left. ByuN is on the move, though.
Yeah, ByuN's on the move off to the left-hand side, and we'll see if he sets up, or Shine sets up for a big flank here in a bit. The first Ultras are just popping up now, but these Banshees have continued to have such good utility throughout the entire game. 29 kills between those two off to the left-hand side, already 8 on the one off to the right.
Yeah, Cloak is obviously an effect that will have benefits all game long, as you do need detection to keep up with that. And I think this medevac is basically saying, I don't care if you kill me, I'm going to drop all these Marines. Maybe not. Maybe he's just going to... Wow, Queen. Oh, wow. That was a big misstep by Shine. He could have actually snagged that pretty easily just by moving the Queen over, but does end up getting kills anyway. All the Marines actually moving behind the siege tanks. Ultras are on the field now. Banelings crashing into the fungled Marines. Ultras trying to get some damage in, but the tanks actually did so much there that there's no support for the Ultras. He cannot continue that fight, and ByuN is still surging forward with a ton of Marines and tanks.
Yeah, he has a great supply right now. He's powering ahead with upgrades. He's got a 4th base ready back at home, and he's going to punish the 4th base of Shine as well. Actually, probably going to take out a bunch of these Banelings before they're even able to pop up. Okay, now they do finally finish, but will he be able to get him in there? There's a lot of siege tanks sitting around, and he is able to target fire at the Banelings pretty well. And ByuN tried to save that siege tank, couldn't do it with the medevac, but it doesn't matter because he still has so much left over at the end.
That's right. These Ultras are going to have to get some damage in. Actually, I think both of them are going to splatter. That Banshee still just pelting away at that Ultralisk, and there's a lot of medevacs overhead, so stim is not even going to really be a concern here. These Marines can basically do whatever they need to right now to try and finish off Shine's hatchery, and they do get it, of course, but now it's a kind of a decision for ByuN. Does he want to load up and try to do some more drops? It looks like he is decently defended as natural, but he could load up that whole force there and head into the main if he feels like it.
Good number of drones already killed. 18 workers killed to just 1 so far, and the resources lost. Whoa! Way out of whack as Shine has taken so much damage so far, and he hasn't really been able to affect the tank count either. So even if ByuN loses the vast majority of his bioforces, which he did lose a good number of Marines there, he still has enough left over to continue any sort of a defensive play until he maxes again. Did I say until he maxes again? He's already maxed.
Yep. Yeah. So instead of... Wow.
But not so good against Banelings.
Zoidberg, man, what can he say? I was going to say, instead of actually loading up and moving everything into the main, he just splits up a little bit, brings 1 contingent over there, and of course it got wiped out by that bowling ball Baneling. Just rolling right in there for the strike. But we do have a ton of money saved for ByuN, so even if Shine were able to crash through with a ton of Banelings or something like that, things would still look pretty drastic here. ByuN's mining has been sort of uninterrupted for a very long time.
And now we see ByuN continuing to roll forward. He's segmented off this base, he's killed more workers, and that hatchery's about to go down. His opponent just on 3 bases. Nice job, a few Zerglings running by to disrupt mining over at the 4th of ByuN as well, but that alone is not going to make the difference.
That's right. You can still see these Lings, Banelings, and Ultras unable to actually choose what they want to attack. Is he actually going to move out and try to go face trade? Yeah, I think he just made that conscious decision to do that.
Yeah, looks like it. Already a 30-kill Banshee, though, and continuing to increase. Unfortunately, those are going to go down before... Okay, they did get off one shot, and these SCVs are going to have to retreat for now. And I can see why Shine wants to do this. Oh, nice fumble, and he catches a lot of these siege tanks. They do actually fall before dropping into siege mode. And Shine really, really needed that sort of an engagement. Is it going to be enough, though? I'm not sure, but this is actually looking pretty good all of a sudden for him.
Yeah, that did bring Shine right back into it. ByuN, of course, though, like I said earlier, has a ton of money that now Shine is actually struggling for. He's missing 2 hatcheries that he used to have, actually 3 hatcheries that he used to have. He's mining essentially nothing right now, while ByuN is just cranking out units from all over his half of the map. Ultra's still unable to actually find what they want to kill. I just wish Ultras had range, like a little bit of range, so they could just slice over the top of the drones or lings, because you see them shuffle around like that so often that it really hurts their efficiency and makes people want to build them less.
Shine's in a really bad spot now. He does have 300 minerals, so we can try and put up another hatchery, but things are looking pretty bleak because he had no mining whatsoever. He's now down by 50 supply. 39 kill Banshee. No, not like this. Not like this.
I never asked for this. He was 1 day from retirement, too.
Man, he had a wife and kids to go home to.
Yep, he was going to take that vacation in Hawaii.
He just, like, there's actually a bounty system with the Terran army, so, yeah.
He actually was a woman.
Yeah.
Banshee pilots are all female.
That's true, all of them. They all look the same, too, which is weird.
Well, they're all twins. They're all clones.
Ah. Yeah. But not Zoidberg.
No. Well, those are all clones of Zoidberg.
Correct.
Yeah. But they don't drive. They don't drive Banshees. Are you kidding me?
That would just be silly.
They don't have the skill set for that. TSL.Shine running his lings right through the middle of those. Oh wow. No, just GGing. Oh my goodness.
All right. So ByuN closes things out. He brings things back for Prime. They are 1-0 in their group, along with LG Incredible Miracle. Congratulations to Prime. They